And oh my goodness, a new special guest this evening, Marcus. The man's name is D. D. Vasilius. Vice.
God damn
D.D.
it.
Vesuvius. Like a
Vasilius.
volcano.
Vasay. Vasay.
It's Italian. It's Vici.
Vici.
Vinny
Vici.
Vinny.
I don't know. It's more Marcus's people on the show. We got this DD Vice in the basement here. Nice to meet you, DD. How we feeling this evening?
Well, brothers, celebrating the holiday.
As am I. I think I'm gonna like
It's
this guy, Marcus.
420. And I don't
Smoke something.
particularly celebrate, but I hang out and act like I do.
Yeah, Marcus with his nice job that drug tests.
Whack.
Well, some of us don't have the privilege of selling a whole bunch of merchandise. So we have to make our money elsewhere.
My sacrifice. How we feeling, fellas? I'm fucking blowed out.
Sleepy. I went to the Mexican restaurant. I went to the Mexican restaurant, ate a bunch of food earlier.
Hell yeah.
So wait, you're telling me you don't know how long you'll have. Whenever your Stromboli's ready, you're out the show, but you done already ate some Mexican.
Yeah.
Marcus is a bottomless pit.
What
Yeah,
the
dude.
Fuck.
You've never like gone anywhere with me, I guess, to know.
No, not really. I don't recall being
There's a
invited,
reason.
actually.
There's a reason the Endless Wings at Applebee's only runs for like a month. Because if it ran longer than that, we'd eat them out of business.
I got you. Yo, I
Big facts.
saw some VCW footage. Y'all rolling around a bar in Moundsville with Ronnie Starks. What the fuck?
First of all,
Yeah.
that was not our idea. Ronnie Starks is a coattail rider, and he just wanted to hang out with us because we're the cool kids. Because when we were first starting and probably kind of needed a manager, he wanted nothing to do with us. But now that we're established and we're the best tag team in West Virginia, now Ronnie Starks is like, man, I think I'd really like to be a part of Saturday Night Special. Well, you know what, Ronnie Starks?
God damn on WrestleRoni, baby.
Oh, it's a celebration, baby.
No doubt. No doubt.
We had him hold the Applebee's menu, and he came out, and we gave him a test run. I mean, like, it's a bar show, so it's a little less serious than the other ones. So, I mean, is Ronnie Saturday Night Special material?
Okay.
I mean, from that first match, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, he did his part. He was choking dude on the ropes. I saw him hit him in the back of the head. I mean, he was getting physical.
Yeah, but that's not the only thing you gotta be.
Okay. What else do you need?
Just being like willing to win by any means necessary doesn't mean that you're Saturday Night Special material. You gotta walk the walk. You gotta talk the talk. You gotta be able to drink. You gotta be able to party. You got to be able to hang. And I don't know if Ronnie Starks is any of those things. And you could at least buy a Saturday Night Special shirt so you could look official. He's wearing a W shirt. Was he Paul Heyman? That's like Paul Heyman wearing an ECW shirt coming out.
No doubt.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
I feel it. I wore my Saturday Night Special, my Sunday Special shirt to VCW this past weekend to see you two relegated to the pre-show. I was fortunate enough to sit next to the man himself, Bradley Ruthers. We gave y'all some hell, and then I don't know. I don't even think a match happened, did it? Just beat those guys up. Wasn't even a match.
Yeah.
It was never going to be a match.
Sounds
there
right.
were lessons that needed to be learned.
It was a nice little scrimmage. Now we're back on the regular roster, back on the regular program. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Back into the tag team tournament, getting ready for the tag team titles.
And the night before that, Parma, Ohio, 6-man tag war, Worst Generation, Brotherly Love. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was fun. That's the first time in quite a while we ended up coming up short. I was disappointed.
How'd you feel about it, DD?
Brotherly love. It's not over. It's not over. We just got bigger fish to fry now. That's all.
No,
It's a to be continued.
I dig it.
We got a little side quest first.
Side quest. Hey, Brotherly Love was kicked out of the AEW Dynamite last night for whizzing them mouths.
Because they were being marks. They bought tickets to go to see AEW Dynamite.
Well, they got kicked out. They didn't get to see it.
Well, they wanted to waste their money and be goofy.
Leave your weird cheese at home, and then you'll be able to watch the whole thing.
Leave the weird cheese at home.
And I bet
Get over, and maybe you could be on the show.
Damn. All right, so what's this side quest we're talking about then?
Which I can't fucking tell you.
Oh, why not?
You'll find out when the time comes.
Yeah, you'll find out when the time comes.
I gotta know
Things
how to
gotta
get the
align.
shots.
You'll know.
Things got on editing the pro talking about side quest.
I don't know. You was breaking up on that one. Sound like he said.
I haven't even finished editing the promo that talks about the side quest yet.
Well, edit the promo. Let's go, big boy. Let's go.
Hey, didn't you tell me I was supposed to take a week off of all wrestling-related activities?
Yeah.
After going hard for like a month and a half.
Sure.
And you know what I'm not doing right now?
Not editing the promo.
I'm not editing the promo, and I'm on a wrestling podcast. So I'm supposed to take time off from wrestling.
I told you before the show started, did I not, DD? Let's see if we can go the whole episode without mentioning wrestling.
And then you're the first person that mentioned wrestling. So congratulations, Lou. You fucking lied to us.
Got you there, bub.
Damn. Good thing my
Yeah,
internet
yeah,
froze up when you were talking all that shit.
I heard it.
It did, so it worked out perfect on my end.
Yeah, Dee heard. That's all that matters.
There you go.
I heard it.
DD Vice, what brings you to the show tonight? What are we going to do with you, friend?
Is the Stromboli here?
Listen.
Oh, the Stromboli's here. Hold on.
Marcus Stromboli has arrived.
Oh,
Two
fuck.
things. Two things before I take my leave, because I am going to go eat and celebrate 420 by watching Trailer Park Boys and eating Stromboli.
Damn.
My game
It's reason-
plan. Going to be a big old sack of shit. Two things. One, the Worst Generation is going to drop a whole bunch of knowledge on a bunch of people here soon. We've dropped a little bit here and there. Two, there's going to be a whole bunch of designs coming out shortly. Some trucker hats are going to be coming out. There's going to be a whole bunch of knowledge being dropped on top of that once I finish editing this promo. And you guys might see a little bit of insight into what we got coming up. But that being said, DD gets his own episode of the podcast. I'm not going to interrupt and steal his thunder, and I have previous engagements.
Well,
I have a hot date with a 5-topping Stromboli.
5
Go
topping.
get your shit in, baby. Go get your shit in.
Oh, you know it. But WrestleRoni listeners, make sure that you watch out for the Marcus Twist on all the social media so you can stay updated on the Worst Generation
No,
Saturday Night
you don't get
Special. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff coming out on TeePublic soon. I'll be posting about it. Hopefully, by the time this podcast is out, everything's out, so you can see a whole bunch of awesome shit. And yes, I do get to plug myself.
You don't get to come
because
on
that's
here
part
for
of the fucking deal. I already
9
plugged
damn
it.
minutes. 9
Sorry,
minutes,
too
40
late.
seconds, and you're plugging shit.
Well, there's already shirts on the TeePublic, so you can go ahead over and
There
buy
it
one
is.
of the ones that's already on there.
There's all the things
Weak
out on the
ass background,
TeePublic.
too.
Dee
Weak
Dee,
background this
I love
week.
you.
I love you,
brother.
buddy.
I'll see you, Lou, at Evil Ways. Not
Okay.
sure if Dee Dee's going to be there or not. I'm going to go watch some Trailer Park Boys and eat some Stromboli.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. Fuck off. Love you guys. Bye.
We love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Well, DD Vice. It comes down to me and you. What do we do? Okay, well, me and you've never chatted, so let's do some of the stereotypical bullshit before we figure out where we're going with this. Tell me about your training days. When did you decide this is what I'm going to do?
So I had done a little training off and on over the years with a man that shall remain nameless just because we didn't necessarily end on the best note. But I officially went into the wrestling business full tilt on November of 2019. That's when I joined the Real Shoot Wrestling Institute of the Grappling Arts, as it was called at the time.
Okay.
And I trained from November until May of 2020. And in that time, you know, the entire world shut down. So I was like, well, there goes my wrestling career. So the world shuts down in March. And then before April 1st, our trainer goes, well, ain't nobody working right now. Everybody's getting that extra money just to sit at home. We're going to start training again. And we trained 4 days a week until probably about May.
Okay.
May or June.
I never knew that.
And then that's when actually, fun fact, if you watch the RSW Stay at Your House series,
Okay.
I actually headlined the very first one.
Oh, okay.
That was my first match, the main event. That would kick off a string of 20 or 30 some episodes.
And use the first one. And yes, like you mentioned, Stay in Your House was a very popular series on Facebook. A lot of folks were into it at the time. Who'd you work in the first match?
I wrestled Paulie Killpiss in a hair versus hair match.
Damn, so this whole rivalry deal that still goes on to this day. So how'd that go? How was the debut on the first match of this brand new experiment?
Well, I got the pinfall and I shaved his head. I shaved another grown man's head.
Hell yeah. Now we're off to the races.
I wrestled probably 5 matches, and then I sat on the bench for a little while there because I got a little bit of heat with my trainer. Because you know, you put a young kid in the main event of the first show, and his head gets a little big.
Okay.
You got to bring it back down to earth. So I sat on the bench for a little while and watched everybody else get to play.
So now I know the trainer, and I know he was hard on you guys. Was your head big? Was it deserved?
Oh, absolutely. I think back on it now. I absolutely probably was a little big for my britches.
Okay. All right. So where does Marcus Twist enter the picture?
So I started training in November 2019. Marcus started coming around about April, probably March or April of 2020.
Okay.
Because he had gotten laid off from the oil field.
Okay.
And decided, hey, wrestling sounds pretty cool. And literally from the moment he started coming to training, like anytime we would be setting up for the Stay in Your House shows, guys that were coming in are like, man, are you guys brothers? Are you guys related at all? And it's like, no.
Okay.
Yeah. And it to the point where Tim Cross was getting so sick of hearing people go, oh, you guys should be a tag team, that he would yell at us. Be like, would you guys shut up? I was like, Tim, it's not us, man. It's everybody else. And then finally we were given the chance. Our first tag team match, I can't remember the date. I'm sure Marcus has it written down.
Mm.
But the first match that we ever wrestled as a tag team was against Johnny Blast and Kevin Tyler. And it was one of the studio shows that we did. It was one of the Stay in Your House episodes, I believe.
Okay.
Because there for a while we did them live, and then we just would tape like a whole bunch at a time, and then just put them out like I think every Friday or Saturday.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I don't even know if that match saw the light of day. I think that was closer toward the end of everything, right before we started doing like actual live shows again. So that footage is somewhere
Okay.
deep in the archive of RSW.
I can dig into them. We might be able to dig them up. Who knows? In a perfect world. So you guys worked a little bit together in RSW. Tell me about the first time y'all ventured outside of the RSW waters and tried out a different promotion for the first time.
So the first time we went outside of actually the first time I went outside of RSW by myself, I wrestled 3 matches for Black Diamond
Okay.
Up in it's actually very close to where VCW runs now.
Very close.
I wrestled 3 matches there before it got shut down. And then Marcus Twist and I, our first venture outside of RSW as a tag team was November 2021. We wrestled at AON for the first time in their tag tournament.
Okay. Okay. And kind of let some of the listeners know what you guys have been doing in AOM, because RSW's covered pretty well, VCW's covered pretty well. Kind of let them know what it's like in AON for you guys.
So we are I guess you would say, number 2 contenders for the. We've had a couple of title shots up there for the tag titles, but we keep coming up short because something keeps happening. The office up there tends to not be able to keep control of their guys, or they'll throw in a weird stipulation. So we're not. We're watching out for them because they're not. Like I said, we're not super thrilled with the management of AON at the moment. But because we just had a match for the tag titles, and one of the tag champs didn't show up, but we still ended up working Wes Rogers, who's half of the Grapple Vices, for the tag titles, and the Static Age got involved. So it's either been we've been in 3-way tag matches, or we've gotten interrupted by somebody else, or our opponents haven't showed up, but we've made enough of our name. We're the top babyface tag team in All or Nothing Wrestling right now.
Okay. So yeah.
So
Like
our next match for them is June 24th or 25th, and that's Thundercade.
Okay, and that's one of their bigger shows, if not their biggest show of the year, right?
Yeah, that's their big WrestleMania type show. It's in a big arena during a bike rally. It's Thunder in the Mountains.
Oh,
so the whole town, motorcycles and pro wrestling. It's pretty cool.
And do you guys know who you're working on that one?
Not yet.
Fair enough. Give them the tag title shot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Fox, jeez, whiz. A lot of folks don't know about your time in No Ring Deathmatch Evil Ways. You and Marcus Twist, very first match at Evil Ways. What can you tell the listeners about that deal?
Cool. The first No Ring Deathmatch that Marcus Twist and I ever did together, we did against each other, and that was this past year, and him and I, we were put very first match of the very first show on a card that was headlined by Otis Kogar and Bobby Beverly. And if nobody knows, Bobby Beverly was actually the last Tournament of Death winner.
Okay, yep.
So that's what we're proceeding in this death match. And the promoter goes, you guys really don't have to kill yourselves. And we're both like, look who you put us on the card with.
Right, yeah. It's expected.
So him and I went out and we just beat the shit out of each other and got one of the loudest pops of the night. And then the second time we went up there, it was him and I against each other and a third, Jason Gorey.
And that one was even wilder than the first one.
And that one was even wilder than the first. That was the first time I'd ever forayed into working with light tubes.
What was that? Was it everything you dreamed it would be?
Well, it wasn't terrible. The worst part was that I kept getting pieces of light tube down in my singlet and in between my butt cheeks, and I think that was the worst part about it.
Oh, well, that's bad.
So taking bumps was not fun.
No, no doubt. Ah, good
And the
lord.
ride home was not very comfortable either.
Yeah, those matches, highly recommended. Go check him out on the Evil Ways YouTube channel. Fun stuff, fun stuff. And I know we'll see you guys up there again soon. If not the next show, then the next go round or whatever it may be.
We'll be back sooner rather than later for sure.
Can't wait. Can't wait. I think you guys have you've went out to CCW, haven't you?
What is that?
CCW out towards Tennessee?
Oh yeah. I went up there once with the Beastman, and we really didn't get to do a match. We arm wrestled this guy that had arms the size of my head. Dude almost broke my arm because Mark clubbed him in the back super hard.
Oh shit.
That wasn't a fun night.
So yeah, by Mark hitting the dude so hard, he like fell into your arm and fucked you up.
He had a hold of my arm, and Marcus clubbed him in the back. And when his eyes got real big, and he grabbed a hold of my arm for dear life, and I grabbed a hold of his with both hands, and I was held on for the ride, man. I was,
Oh dear.
ugh,
Sounds like a
something
good
else.
time. Good times. Oh shit. Well, okay. We're talking about CCW. Let's bring it back home to RSW. We've talked recently on the show about the recent changes, and everything's going pretty well for the most part. What can you tell the folks at home about the old RSW compared to how things are nowadays?
So I'll tell you, the locker room vibe now is just so much more like going to RSW is like getting a chance to get every time I go there compared to other places. It's like I'm going to hang out with my friends. It's a totally different vibe from any place else. Everybody gets along. Everybody's cool.
Right.
There was always before there was always a tension in the locker room
Yeah.
because nobody wanted to upset the booker.
Nah.
And it was very tense, sometimes very toxic work environments. Like I said, I wasn't in the best place there because my trainer had heat with me, and it went way further than it needed to. So up until January of 2022, things were a little rough.
Right. Yeah. Well, and again, it seems like, and now crowds are coming out. Not to say they weren't there before, but it's steady, just one after
Oh
the other.
yeah. The bookings, I can't tell you how many shows prior to January that I worked on that there were less than 10 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
So there were no paydays. Like, we were still just working for exposure. It was just, like I said, not a good vibe. Nobody was really happy.
Right. And here you are working for exposure, and your exposure is 10 people. That ain't gonna help the cause much.
Our exposure is working for a place that once we started running live shows, we stopped doing things on the internet. So
Right.
we were out wrestling matches that nobody was seeing.
Right. Right.
So we're essentially, we were treated like circus animals. Like, we were still considered trainees almost 2 years in. We weren't allowed to go work anyplace else because we were getting paid other places. We actually got in trouble for going to work at AON after we had talked to the trainer. And for whatever reason, our trainer at the time has heat with the Pennsylvania wrestling scene. Like, he's like, oh, everything up there's a mud show.
Nah.
And then he's taken us to go work for free at these other places that are running in truck stops and there's not more than like 10 or 12 people in the crowd. It's like, okay, now I don't know what your definition of a mud show is, but it's definitely not a mall full of people.
Right. Right. So you guys, I didn't know that. You couldn't even work other places. You didn't have other
No,
options. Wow.
no, we weren't allowed to go anywhere. And the places that we went, we weren't getting paid, and we were driving for on the higher side of 3 hour drives just to the venues. Like Mark and I took a trip down and we're booked at a place down in Mount Airy, North Carolina, and we drove all the way down, picked up a veteran, went the rest of the way, drove back, made $10 altogether. Like
Jeez.
between the two, we made $10 a piece to go down there, and it was a 13-hour drive round trip.
Oh wow. Wow.
And
Yeah.
at the time, actually, Marcus was driving a big old diesel truck,
Okay.
so we didn't even make enough money to put in gas.
Wow. That sucks. And well, let's look at the flip side of this coin. So this fucker's going after a lot of shit happens that we don't need to get into. And recently, if anybody's been looking out for you guys, at least in my opinion, from what I know, Beastman's really looked out for you guys. So what's Beastman meant to your career thus far?
Oh, man, there was there was a misunderstanding there, and there was a reason that we didn't go to VCW for the longest time. And come to find out, it was because our trainer, who had left, was still putting bugs in people's ears about how much we were worth as a tag team.
Okay.
So I had went on a trip with Wes to Indiana for a Warrior Wrestling show, and it was a lot of fun. I got to meet pretty much probably half of the AEW locker room, a bunch of ROH guys, a bunch of CMLL guys.
Hell
Got to
yeah.
kick it and drink some Sam Adonis. That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Was on a pre-show there, and then on the way back, this is when West was just getting ready to start. When Beastman was just getting ready to start VCW,
Mhm.
he's like, "Well, if you guys were to come up and work for me, I'd give you X amount of dollars." And I was just like, "I'm not driving that far for that little bit of money. It's not worth it."
Uh-huh.
So then there was just some unspoken heat. Like I just really didn't go out of my way to talk to Beastman. And then I think May of last year, he was doing a show at the public pool there in McMecken, and he had reached out to Tim Cross, and Tim Cross reached out to us and was like, "Hey, I don't know what the misunderstanding was, but Wes wants to talk to you guys." And so we went and worked up there, and we've worked. We're undefeated up there.
Yeah.
We're probably the top heel tag team at VCW.
Yeah. You guys are the name of the game. I mean, when it's VCW, when I think VCW, I think Saturday Night Special, Mount Kilpis. That's been the feud, a hot feud. Let's talk about
Oh,
Mount Kilpis then. What have they meant to your career?
So Paulie and Gannon both. I trained with them. They were coming to the end of their training when I started training, and actually they got their diplomas the night that I debuted. But even then, like I'm pretty sure like they had to go and still get permission on places they could go get booked and stuff.
Okay.
So they didn't do a whole lot of traveling. But that was the first match that we had at VCW, and we've been on the upside of that. They've not beaten us. I think I've only ever lost to Paulie one time,
Really?
and that was in a singles match at ICS.
Oh,
He
okay.
got there. It was that was Black Friday of 2021.
20. Okay, well, it's a whole different ball game nowadays.
Well, since then they've come close. They've come real close, but they've not quite been able to grab the victory over Saturday Night Special.
Here you are, killed.
And we beat the dog out of each other.
Yeah. To say the least. You've killed his possum, and There's been some
Twice.
wars. Twice, yeah. Twice. Good stuff, man. Well, what about ICS? What was your ICS experience like? You threw that out there.
I mean, it could have been better, and then a bunch of drama happened there, and I've not been back since.
Okay. Okay. ICS sounds like a dramatic place from what I hear. I don't know.
I kept my nose clean of there because some rumors got started and
Okay.
just a bunch of stuff. And for whatever reason, my trainer decided he had heat with me, and I heard about it all through Marcus. So I completely cut ties and was like, well, here goes. I'm going to start venturing out on my own as far as my wrestling career goes.
And it seems to be working out just fine for you, in my opinion.
It's been a ride since then. We've not had any trouble filling up the calendar book. That's for sure.
That's for sure. For sure. Shit. What do we got coming up? What do we got coming up? Well, I know we got Monongah coming up, but what else you got coming up?
We're in the next couple of months. We're actually debuting at a couple of new places.
Okay.
I know that you've talked to Matt Silks, and we're debuting for HWF in Lewistown. We'll be debuting for them on May 13th.
Hell yeah. Cool.
And we'll be wrestling. We'll be working with a tag team there. We'll be going up against a tag team known as Neverfall. That's Zach Rain and John Roden.
Okay. There's some potential there.
We've not. I've crossed paths with Zach Rain in a weird mixed tag match at mixed match tag match at 2PW.
Oh, okay. We
Which I
never did talk about 2PW. Okay.
ended up turning on my partner there because it wasn't Marcus Swiss.
I think I remember
He
watching
kept
that one.
he kept trying to bully me around, so I decided to drop him on his head.
Did not know who he was fucking with.
Let him figure it out on his own.
Yeah, you guys were rocking and rolling in 2PW for a minute. I forgot all about that. Fair enough. Where do we go from here, DD Vice? What's the future hold for DD Vice or for Saturday Night Special? One the same.
We're just trying to spread the brand, just trying to get out there, get anywhere we can. We've been doing our stuff in Pennsylvania. I think this year might be the year that we try to hit into Ohio a little harder.
Okay. No doubt.
Spreading our Actually, we're debuting at a place in June called Neo Pro Wrestling out of Canton, Ohio.
Okay. Yep, I've heard good things.
Their very first show is next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
April 29th. Their inaugural the pilot episode, I guess you could say.
Okay. Well, let's see how that goes. Okay. Do you know who you're facing on that one?
I've not heard of the guys. It's a tag team by the name of Studio 86.
I don't know.
I know nothing about them, but we'll find out. I've got some time to do some studying, do some homework, so
There you go. We'll have to look up.
we won't go in completely blind.
Tell you what if we could get you down to PWL sometime? You been watching any of their product? Any guys down there you'd like to smack around?
So we did a show for PWL. We went down there and worked with them. They did a show with it was PWL versus RSW.
Okay.
And we went down and we worked a tag match. We were tag team champs at the time. And we went down and we worked a match against Willie Storm and Benny Conley.
I'll be damned.
And I would be more than honored to go down to PWL at any point in time and slap Willie Storm around.
Well, or we can bring Willie Storm to you for that matter if you want to smack him around.
If I'm in the ring with Willie Storm, it's a good chance that he's going to get slapped around and dropped on his head.
Damn.
Probably get a concussion because that's what Willie does. He gets concussions all the time.
Poor Willie, man. Poor Willie.
Poor-
Always getting picked on.
Poor kid's got a brain made of mashed potatoes.
Are you watching any? I know the answers to this. I don't even know why I'm asking, but just so the listeners know, I'll play it. I'll do it anyway. You watching any indies? Any other wrestling on your free time?
So I watch. I don't watch a lot of mainstream wrestling. I try to catch up on clips on Facebook. It's just I don't know. Nothing's really catching me right now. But I'll watch some indie stuff with some places like I think I'd like to debut.
Okay,
I actually need to renew my IWTV subscription.
I got you.
I've fallen off the wrestling wagon a little bit. I've been getting a little. We've been working wrestling all the time, so the last thing you want to do when you're wrestling is come home and watch wrestling.
Right.
Um, but I'm fixing to renew my IWTV subscription and get back into it.
I feel it. I feel it. Believe me, because I think I even skipped Raw Monday. I was just like, it was. I had wrestling Saturday, Sunday. I just need give me a day, man.
Yeah, you get to the point, man. It's a cycle too. It's crazy because you never think you'll get to that point because you start and you're like, man, I just want to wrestle. I just want to wrestle. Oh, I just want to be in a ring all the time. And then you get to the point where you're in the ring all the time and you're just like, man, I need a break.
Okay. Well.
This is a lot. You look at your calendar and it's like 2 days on the road, a day on the road, 2 days on the road, 2 more days on the road, and then you finally get a break. So Marcus and I are getting our break this weekend and next weekend, and then we're back into it again. I don't think we have an actual big break until like August.
Hell yeah. Well. Hey man, the fans demand it. Damn it.
I try not to complain about it because it's said you're not supposed to complain about things that you need not subject yourself to.
There you go. Yep. You asked for
So
this.
I signed up for it. I paid the money. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of putting. You put a lot into it. You might as well enjoy the ride and do what you can.
I
Let's,
tell people I'm on borrowed time anyways because I didn't even get started in the business till I was almost 30. So
right. There you go. So you got to do something. Well, what's some goals? What we want to do within the next 5 years?
um so I think the goal right now, short-term goals. Marcus and I were actually just talking about this earlier today. I think the goals for this year is we both want to work a death match in an actual wrestling ring,
Okay.
and then we want to do a death match tournament. We want to try to get in on a death match tournament. And then there's some goals we're working in all the states that we're working in now regularly, semi-regularly. We're looking to pick up titles in those areas.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Starting with the VCW tag team titles coming soon.
Very much so. First inaugural tag team champions of VCW.
Now you had mentioned a deathmatch tournament, and it got my gears turning. Hear me out on this. And Tim Cross, I hope you're listening. Let's skip to this part right here, Tim. I got it for you. Tag team deathmatch tournament.
We've been begging for RSW to do a death match tournament. My first baby steps, my first foot in the water into death matches or hardcore wrestling was actually at RSW, and that's how I actually earned my way back onto the roster to actually be able to get booked again.
Oh, well, tell me about this.
We did a show at the old Pepsi bottling plant in Fairmont, that
Uh,
rundown factory.
Okay.
We set the ring up there and we did some matches. And I actually wasn't even supposed to be on the card.
Mm.
Another guy was supposed to work back-to-back matches and ended up getting a little too beat up in the first match to be able to work the second one. So I'd been drinking that day, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll do it."
Mm-hmm.
I ended up working a match with a dude by the name of Shadow the Clown. I did a carpet strips match. They put carpet strips, lined them along the ropes, set them
Mm-hmm.
up in the corner. Two corners had barbed wire wrapped around them.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
got I got worked over pretty good, but I came out with the W at the end.
Nice. And that led to more bookings down the road then.
And that was the thing that I needed for my trainer to go, okay, well, we'll start using you again. You're allowed to start bringing your gear to taping days again.
I got you. Okay. Huh. Okay. See, I wasn't aware of that one either. See, I'm learning.
Talk about paying dues.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Carpet strip death match. That's no joke, man. That shit's gotta hurt.
It's not fun. It's sharp.
Oh yeah, guarantee it. Well, let's figure out this
But
tag
I've done,
team.
honestly, if I could go back now, I'd do it all over again.
Well, hell yeah, man. That makes the story. That makes the movie right there. When the movie's made, by God, there'll be the Pepsi plant scene.
Yep.
You know?
That one, I think that show is still on the RSW YouTube page.
Okay. Okay. I know I've seen the Mount Kilpis and Good Guys match from it.
Yes, yes. Okay, so my match was like 2 matches before that one on the show, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then. And that was a cool show. That was a fun show. I'm pretty sure I've seen most of it, the majority. So where do we go from here, DD Vice? It's 4:20. We still got 20 minutes here. Good Lord.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep the train rolling till it comes to a stop, man. I'm on the night train.
You returned home to Preston County recently. That was fun. That was special.
That was a good time. I was very pleased with the turnout. Had some family members I hadn't talked to in a hot minute show up. That was pretty cool.
Was it? Okay.
Everybody that I ever told I was gonna do it, I got to prove to them that I was doing it. So that was really cool.
And you got a hell of a reaction too.
It was a good time.
That was a fun one. That was a fun one. I think we told the story on the show. If not, let's tell the story. I think we have. We sang "Hey, Happy Birthday" to a kid. Long story short, you probably heard the story.
Yeah,
Cool,
we did. There was a young lady there having a birthday party when we were setting up. So we invited her. Everybody that was at her party got invited back for the wrestling show, and most of them actually came back for it, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
And they were super cool. It was real. That's what I'm looking for. They're real touched by the fact that a bunch of weird wrestling guys wanted to take a picture and sing "Happy Birthday" with them.
Yeah, man. Don't judge a book by its cover, damn it.
You got us invited back, so
There you go. We did something right, by God. Did you have any weird experiences this past Saturday in Parma?
well,
It's a weird place.
that is a weird place. Parma's a weird. That's a whole animal in and of itself.
Yeah,
It was a good time. I always like going up and seeing Scott and getting to see the boys up there. I don't normally get to see. It was a lot of fun. That was the first time I'd been up there in a year, almost 2 years.
Okay.
So it was good to be up there. But I think that was what killed my car. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn it.
that was a whole mess.
Yeah, it's a hell of a trip right there.
For me, it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's about what it was for us, and I'm not too crazy far away from you, so. What can you do?
What's that?
I said, what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? Well, hopefully you're going to be making it to the Monongah show. I'm sure we'll find you a way to Monongah, by God.
I will be in Monongah. There's some like Marcus was saying, there's some plans in the works.
Oh, this is the side quest in Monongah, huh?
I plead the fifth. I cannot confirm or deny, but all I can say is where the Mad Dog goes, the Saturday Night Special's not far behind.
Oh, okay. It was okay. I got you. Fair enough. So after that, let's see. We've pretty much looked at the near future, the far future, the past, the now. Right now, you guys are, man, you're just bad guys everywhere you get. What about AON? Are you getting cheers in AON?
So we are baby faces at AON,
Okay.
but that is one of the weirdest crowds to work in front of. Like
How
they're
so?
very much. like a Japanese crowd. Like they're very quiet. They don't really get into it. But then after the match, they'll come up to you and they'll be like, "Hey, you did a really good job. That was really cool. I really like you guys." But it's like no reaction while you're out there actually working.
Huh. Tell me some about that, like different crowds where you know you can count on a hot crowd and you know you're going to have a crowd like that. What do you think makes these different cities this way?
I can't tell you, but it's very much like you learn that different parts of the country, the crowds are very different. They're into very different things. Um, if you go down south, like West Virginia and down, it's a very old school type crowd. Like they just, fuck the bad guy. They want to see the good guy kick the bad guy's ass, no matter who it is.
Right on.
Very much a storytelling crowd. Like that's the crowd that they want to see the bad guys get the shit kicked out of them. But then you make your way up north. You go to places like Pittsburgh, Johnstown, even as far as like New Jersey and Connecticut. Um, they want to see cool stuff.
Okay.
Pull out your big moves on those shows. You pull out your cool stuff on those shows. You don't have to. Those are the shows you tend to work harder on because those crowds are a little harder to entertain because they want to see cool stuff.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. There's a good point. VCW crowd. I noticed they like their characters and they're pretty old school.
They're definitely an old school crowd. Very easy to. You go out, you insult a couple people, and they just want to see you get your ass beat, which hasn't happened yet.
But they're
It
ready
won't
to
happen.
they're ready to eat you guys alive up there.
Well,
So
they're so mad at us right now because they just keep throwing. The office just keeps throwing us curveballs. We keep hitting them out of the park, and they can't stand it in McChicken, West Virginia.
the recent stuff with Nick West has been hilarious. What's Nick West mean to DD Vice?
You know, I like Nick, but he just, like I said, he just keeps trying to throw his curveballs and just keep hitting them out of the park, and he just keeps getting so frustrated by it. Eventually, he's just going to come around to the fact that Saturday Night Special does whatever the fuck we want.
Okay. Okay. Well, now let's bring it back home. What about the likes of Sean Pugh, of Tim Cross? Where do we stand with those folks?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they're too fond with the fact that Saturday Night Special and Mad Dog Zach Myers have joined forces, and we're just again doing whatever the hell we want.
So in a perfect,
They've only seen a little bit of it yet. We've been doing this at VCW for about a year now. We're only about two or three shows deep with RSW, so.
and I think it's fair to say there for a while you guys were kind of playing nice in RSW.
It's all part of a bigger picture.
All part of the bigger picture. Okay. Well, time will tell. Well, in a perfect world, what's the ultimate goal? To hold all the gold? To hold ownership of the company? To burn it down? What are we looking at?
We're taking over. We're taking over. We're gonna take all the titles. Anybody that gets in the way is gonna get taken out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Not the happy-go-lucky DD Vice I had on months before, but I guess if that's
we've had some things happen there, some hiccups and some stuff that we needed to take care of there. So we're not super thrilled with them. They're not super thrilled with us, but we're there, and they're going to have to get used to it.
Well, do you consider the hiccups taken care of, or is there work left to do?
There's still some work left to do. As you can see, we're still not the tag team champions.
Right.
So that was a small hiccup, and even though Brotherly Love has come out on top, they're at home licking their wounds now. They've gotten the better part of Saturday Night Special, but they've also felt it.
Man, Give them back their can. You got the can down there in the basement?
Hey, I can't tell you. I cannot. I refuse to incriminate myself. I plead the fifth. I know nothing about a whiz can.
Is can okay? Is can okay?
He's alive.
Okay. All right. I'll take.
That's as far as I can go.
If you guys are watching, he's alive. Can lives.
He's alive, even if it's just barely.
Man. And this recent war with brotherly love, it's I mean, it's been entertaining to watch, I gotta admit. And like you say, you're going on a side quest, so for sure we got to finish the main quest someday. But so far, what's your make of brotherly love? Ricky Dawkins, Cliff Klepto, recently Dior got in the mix in Parma. What do you make of these guys?
I'll give the Devils their due. They've absolutely earned the spot that they're in right now at RSW. They've made a name for themselves. They're a very big deal in the Pittsburgh area. Like IWC tag champs and then RSW tag champs. Like they're making a name for themselves.
For sure.
So they're still young. So there's still a lot of growing there.
Yeah.
They'll only get better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely a bright future for those guys. We're in the home stretch, DD. Anything you want to plug? Any words of advice to fans, wrestlers, whoever? I don't give a fuck who you want to give advice to, or if there's anything you want to get off your chest. I don't give a fuck. The platform's yours. Have at it.
If you're a fan, just keep coming to shows. Keep booing who you hate. Keep cheering who you love. You know, keep giving us your money. Buy some stuff. Come talk to us. I'll tell you if I don't want to talk to you.
But
It might cost you a couple dollars, but I'll give you something. I'll give you your money's worth.
That's what I was going to say. Cash in hand, I bet you're going to talk to him, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You'll give him the chance.
You'll get something.
It's been 420 with DD Vice, by God. That's pretty wild if you ask me. That's how you do it on 420. And you know how we do it. Treat each other with respect, kindness, don't take no shit. It's 420, so smoke something, by God.
Smoke something, drink something, be safe.
Be safe. Live life. Live your dreams. It's been DD Vice.
Or don't. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we don't really give a fuck, honestly.
Fuck
it. Check out RSW TV tonight and all that good shit. We love you. We're out of here.